You guys, welcome to the Marshall Group 100, TMG100.net. Now, we're going to talk to you a little bit today about old money versus new money. My name is Nicholas Fordham, Vice President and Sales and Marketing for TMG100.net. And we want to talk to you a little bit today about our website, our portal here at the Marshall Group. Now, what we're looking for is startups that are out there, young businesses that, maybe you have a great idea, maybe you have a great concept, maybe you have a vision that no one else has, or maybe you're simply a business that has already gotten started. You've begun to create your proof of concept, you've begun to push yourself out into the market, and you just require that additional funding to help to take your business to the next level. Well, that's exactly what we do. We are a social ecosystem that connects the startup to the investor. On our mission to making that connection happen, what we do is we seek out partners, people that want to partner with us in this mission on finding the best and brightest minds out there in the startup world and startup community. Now, what we do is we seek out these startups and we help to take these startups to the next level as a client with TMG100. And we're taking a look at the website here. Now, as you land on the home page, there is the option of choosing whether you're a startup, investor, partner, or client. Now, to give you an idea of who we are at the Marshall Group 100 is we specialize in taking an idea for a business and working with a client to fund, build, and grow that idea. We are with our clients every step of the way, from the first sale to filing for IPO. We explore every traditional and non-traditional path to obtaining funding. We develop tailored sales and marketing strategies, and we build each business in the vision of each client. Mr. Marshall has spent nearly 6 decades as an angel investor in the business financing, real estate investment, and researching the practice of creative means by which to produce business financing and seed capital. We know that in today's economy, many startup companies may be unable to qualify for traditional venture capital sources for funding. So, as a client with the TMG model, what we do is we help to take these startups through 18 different proprietary methods in raising them their capital at the same time while bringing them to potential investors within the community. So let me show you a little bit about our community, but before we do that, let's tell you a little bit about us and who we do and why we do it. Now, what you'll notice on our website is we do have a talking character on almost every page, and we feel it's extremely important to learn both visually and by audio instruction, because that way you're going to be able to take in this key information about who we are and what we do. So when you go to the About Us page, one of the things I'd like for you to do is listen to an example of one of the calls that we do, just like this 6 a.m. training call that we're doing right now, in the back end, in the members area of the website, but you can also look at it on the front end of the site on the About Us page. You'll be able to listen to this 30-minute audio talking about the global startup ecosystem and how we help to set a startup apart from the rest that is out there in the industry. Now let's look at the global startup ecosystem. Where we are, the Silicon Valley has earned its reputation as the global tech mecca with 14,000 to 19,000 startups and 1.7 to 2.2 million high-tech workers. It is a home to success stories such as Apple, Google, Facebook, and countless others. Just these 3 companies combined have a market cap of 1.5 trillion and employ more than 165,000 people worldwide. Silicon Valley's local and global impact is undeniable. So you can see on this chart startups from the Silicon Valley to number 2 in the 2015 report, New York City, Los Angeles, Boston, Tel Aviv, all the way down to number 20, which is Montreal. Now, once you get into the members area, we will guide you through how to download this 156-page report of the 2015 ranking of the global startup ecosystem. Now, again, our goal at the Marshall Group 100 is to make a global change in this startup industry. So, see the masterminds behind the team. We have April Stewart, VP of Operations, myself, Nicholas Fordham, Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Abe Arnos, VP of Investors and Investments, and Christina Doan, VP of Public Relations. So, to ask you one question, which one are you? Are you the startup? Are you the investor? Are you the partner? Or let's say maybe you've come to this website because you are in the startup industry and you want to mentor them. Maybe you're the CEO of a company that you've been around the startup industry, you've made some major achievements, and you really want to educate and inform these startups about the do's and don'ts in the startup industry. Well, we're welcoming you into the Marshall Group 100 as well to become an educator and to educate these startups on the right and wrong way about going about their startup. Or maybe you're simply a vendor and you have a product or service that you want to deliver to the startup ecosystem. Or maybe you are coming on this training right now as corporate staff with the Marshall Group 100, and we are educating you on this website and showing you how we develop startups in the industry. So to show you, you can go in, create the profile today. And again, once you get past the first page of creating the profile, let's call you New Startup, for example. And we're going to use New Startup as the username or email, New Startup at TMG100.net. Again, you use your own email, your own password. I'm going to give it a password right now. And then always be sure to check that you are a legitimate person. What we do this is to block out any spam bots and make sure that everybody within our community is fully legitimate. Now, on the very next page, once you put that key information, this is a very key part about signing up into the back end of our system, for the investors, for the partners, for the clients. This is where you choose what type of profile you are. So let's say you are that startup that, you want to get in there, you want to get into some free key information about how to take your startup to that next level, then you would select this profile. If you are the startup that is looking to find funding for your business and take your startup to the next level, you may need that seed capital to get started, or you're going for the first or second round of angel or venture capital funding, then you would select this second icon right here. You're the investor, you're going to go ahead and select that one. Partner, mentor, vendor, or corporate, and it will ask you a series of questions. So let's just say you are the investor and you go to the next profile. Give an example. Each one has a separate type of questions that it's going to ask you as an individual when you're registering this website. And this will place your profile into our ecosystem to allow you to work together and develop with that startup. So as an investor, it's going to ask you a few key things, a little bio about yourself. Who was the person that referred you to this website? We're not going to ask you for your address per se as an investor because we know you want to stay private, but we're going to ask you for your telephone number, your state, your city and town, your country, and your website so that we can contact you about your investments that we're looking to put you in front of. Now, these may be in a number of categories, from restaurants for franchising, real estate investments, down to self-improvement, all the way down to space technology, green energy, ocean research, pharmaceuticals, and much, much more. Now, again, what you want to invest is all up to you. It can be anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $1 million plus, or you can be a piece of sweat equity for a startup, a piece of something big as we build it to the IPO stage. Now, going back a screen, this is going to give you an example that each type of person that goes to create a profile, whether it is a mentor that goes through to create a profile. It's a different series of questions. Now, again, we're going to ask a mentor their bio, their background. But as a mentor, what do we provide to the startup? What is it that you provide as a mentor to our startup community? What is it that you're going to give as key information to this startup community? As a startup, we want to know, you as a startup, what sets you apart in the industry? What makes you different? Now, we're going to ask you to give a startup description. We're going to ask you what category so we can align you, sort of like how Match.com will align someone based on their personality traits with another key individual. We align the startup with the investor based on the category of startup that that startup selects. Now, what we want to know is what makes your startup unique. If you require funding, do you have a business plan? And again, these are just the beginning key questions that we ask as you get into your profile area. Let's take a look at the back end of the website. Now, again, for those of you that have not yet registered on TMG100.net, be sure to take a look around. At the top of the page, you can see investors. You can go into our Investor Opportunities webinar. You can see partners, go into our Partner Opportunities webinar. Clients, go into our Client Opportunities webinar, or straight into the Startup Community. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this Startup Community. We're going to show you a little bit about this back end of the system and what sets us apart and why we have people create these different types of profiles when they're coming into this social ecosystem. Now, here we are in the back end of the website, and what you're going to see here in the center area of your members area of the office is the latest of the morning motivational and educational podcasts that we do each morning, just like this morning's training, special training here at TMG100.net. You can see the call-in number to be able to get on these calls in the morning. It is this 415 number that we have right here on the screen. Now, for those of you that wish to join in on our updates of motivational quotes as well as call reminders for these morning calls, you can click here and join the group messaging. This will allow you to join into some of the key information that we send out to individuals on a daily basis about the growing developments of the difference between old money versus new money. And that is what we are here at TMG100.net. For those that have seen this recent Super Bowl commercial, I believe it was yesterday, again this morning is the day after the Super Bowl. Now, PayPal did something very unique. Now, again, for those of you that don't know much about PayPal, is what they are is a ability for a startup to sign up for free and start transferring funds back and forth through an online virtual world. And they're on this big mission, this marketing mission, as they created this commercial in the Super Bowl about the difference between old money versus new money. Now, new business shouldn't settle for old money. Well, that's the same thing we feel here at TMG 100, because we have you create your virtual profile on this system, whether you're a startup, investor, or you're coming in as a partner or a mentor. And in the back end, we bring you to key information such as PayPal, such as the path to IPO, some stories from some great people, whether it be Oracle or people that started in MySpace or Facebook, or even if you wanted to read some information about some key initiatives that the White House is doing to be able to help your startup to grow and become successful, we're going to bring that information to you here in the back end, in the members area of TMG 100. Now, what I want to do is go back to a little bit about the back end of the site. Now, let's talk about the training and education. On this call right here, you're going to find out a little bit about what we're doing with bringing our investors together in our SEC compliant crowdfunding platform. But you're going to hear a little bit about our Vice President of Investors and Investments Abe Arnosas is here with president and founder of our company, Mr. BC Marshall, and they discuss a little bit about what it takes to be a partner in our community and help to drive business to this system. Now, let's look at this community. When you go into the startup community section, you're able to then now post into this community and talk about what you are doing today as a startup, as an investor, as someone in the industry. But there is an individual here on the side that will ask you, why is it you're not having enough friends in your community? Why are you not connected to anybody? Well, we do this specifically for a reason. That's why we call this a social ecosystem. This is your ecosystem as a startup community, to have a private community. Bring in your other startup community partners. Bring them into this community and then communicate about your startup and what you're doing to take it along to the next level in your stage as IPO. We then, as corporate staff, connect you with key investors and mentors that will help to mentor and guide you in your social ecosystem along the way. Now, these mentors will be able to bring you to things such as this morning motivation and educational call. They will bring you to other events that may be in the community. So let's say, for example, you may be a startup that wants to get on stage and you're ready to go to the Startup Showcase and present yourself on stage in San Francisco at Ruby Sky in front of venture capitalists and investors. Then coming on the 19th, you're going to be able to go to an event where you're able to pitch in front of these venture capitalists. To learn more, again, go to the events section. Now, something that every person that has a profile in our system must do is key to their business and their success is to set goals. Goal setting is a key part into bringing yourself ahead as an organization, as a startup, as an investor, as a partner. And this section of the back in the members area allows you to set your goals, set your habits, plan and track ahead, and then track that success along the way through a graphic that shows you how these habits are forming, how these habits are becoming part of your subconscious through 21 days of perfecting that habit into a success. So again, if you are that startup or investor or partner, begin to go on this page and set your goals and track yourself along the way. Now, for those of you that are startups that do become clients of the TMG100.net model, what you'll find is in the tasks section, we assign you to the mentors, to the startup investors, to the key profit centers that may be able to help your startup take yourself to that next level. And again, once you activate yourself as a startup in the ecosystem in the client mode with the TMG100.net, what we do is we then set you with these key people to align you for that success of taking you to the IPO stage, if that's what you want to do as a startup. Now, again, through this assignment, we will bring you to vendors as well, mentors, people that will help to take that startup through these certain stages of maybe creating a private placement memorandum for going after their funding. Maybe it's setting their business plan on the right structure. Maybe it's putting them with key advisory board members and making that startup grow and flourish to a success. Now, this is where we help them as a client to build that model and set that structure and position that foundation for that success. Now, again, any foundation for success takes education. So this next section will show you about education and what we do with our mentors and connecting you from a startup stage with these mentors through these educational courses. Now, this is where you will come. Again, these courses, some may come with quizzes, final exams, and certifications. So let's say you're a partner with the TMG 100 model and you want to upgrade from a referral partner to a junior partner or senior partner, RSM, DSM, you can come here and get your certifications. And through that certification, you are able to now not only refer these startups to this business, but also potentially have the ability of making a decent equity share within that business through your methods of bringing that person to the stage of becoming a client with the TMG 100 system. Now, this certification process may take you as a startup through the ability of educating you through the different key fundamentals in creating that startup role as yourself as an individual, and taking that role throughout the various speed bumps, the various things that happen in the stages of a startup. And the mentors that are in the back end of this system and these courses will give you that key information to develop and harness the chi, the success that you need within yourself to build and grow as a startup. Or maybe you want to begin one of the 18 proprietary methods that we develop you as that startup in a client with TMG100.net. You want to start a crowdfund and go through the crowdfunding platform that we bring you in the back end of our system and go into one of these key different categories from medical research, ocean research. Maybe you have an internet business as a startup. Maybe as a startup you're doing IT research and development or financial services, fashion, or entertainment. So we bring you directly to the ability of not only starting that crowdfund here or on one of the various many other platforms that are out there on the internet, but we also develop you and harness that power of bringing you to that initial seed money of maybe it's 200,000 you need for your business, maybe it's $1 million that you need for a business, whatever that may be, to bring you to that next stage of a startup. We're going to develop you as a client in the TMG 100 system. And let's talk a little bit about Mr. Marshall, the person behind the Marshall Group 100. Now, Mr. Marshall is the founder and creator of the Marshall Group 100. And again, what we do is we take 100 companies to the IPO stage every year. Now, our foundation of success is bringing you your success. Now, this training that you have just gone through is about our startup community ecosystem that we have developed here to provide you, the startup, the education and information, as well as resources to access everything you need to succeed in your objective as a startup. Whether a client with the TMG100.net model or a startup in the community that is backed by a group of partners looking for people like you to bring them to investors that are ready and willing to take a chance in your new startup. So you can read a little bit more about Mr. Marshall and his background of success in the 5 decades of being an entrepreneur. Again, this individual that is president of our organization made his first million at the young age of 23 years old. And he has gone through these 5 decades of making his money throughout different industries in the organization. So he has some key knowledge and key backgrounds as a first degree black belt for over 30 years, an individual that has taught and lectured thousands of clients such as Xerox, U.S. Air Force, Hires Bottling Company, IBM, and others. Now, what BC thinks is a person's vision and corresponding actions should be as high as an eagle. And that's what we do in the back end of our system, as you can see with the different types of profiles to take you to your success. If you look at his professional profile, Mr. Marshall has extensive experience in sales, all areas of recruiting, training, managing, and motivating. You can look a bit about his professional history, training and certifications, or find out if he as a pilot will be the right one to be with you and your startup success in your lifetime goal of our goal, which is becoming IPO. Because again, we're here to empower 100 persons or IPOs per year to become multi-millionaires. We want to thank you for being a part of this training today here at TMG 100, the Marshall Group. And again, be sure to share our vision with others on these buttons at the bottom of the site. And, maybe you are a person in the startup community, be sure to use the invite tool to be able to invite people to this community, and that's going to attach them to you as a person in this ecosystem taking yourself to success. You guys, we want to wish you all a successful day for your Monday today, and thank you for joining our training here at TMG 100. Have a wonderful day.